Today when we finish, we'll probably go around to the rooms that are occupied right now and put some bags outside of doors.
Laurie Battles is teaching her youngest son, Jonathan, how to put together toiletry bags for families that are staying at the Ronald McDonald House.
I've checked people in before who took very little time to pack because of an emergency.
Laurie's a regular volunteer, but this is Jonathan's first time helping out. This 13-year-old and his mother are giving back since their family received so much from the Ronald McDonald House in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, months after he was born.
When my youngest son was 4 months old, I was on vacation with my family visiting my grandmother, and I had what I thought was a baby with an ear infection, and overnight he became a baby with a life-threatening illness. He was diagnosed with spinal meningitis at Wake Forest University Baptist Medical Center, and my whole world just kind of shifted under my feet.
You see, Jonathan was hospitalized hours from their Chattanooga home, so finding a place to stay near the hospital was critical.
In a matter of a couple of days, we found out that a room had become available at the Ronald McDonald House. I didn't know anything about this charity, and had my little 3-year-old son with me and my husband. And when you have a 4-month-old baby who is sick, most of the time Mama does not want to be very far. In Winston-Salem, North Carolina, the Ronald McDonald House there is kind of catty-corner from the hospital, and I was able to walk. To be that close at all times to a very critically ill baby is, you know, it's just an amazing gift to a parent. So in my case, I was completely shattered. I couldn't think about much other than how my child would make it through this illness, and I had another child to consider at the time.
But for the Battles, and like for so many, the Ronald McDonald House was more than just a place to stay.
This was a godsend for us. It was a warm, wonderful place for my 3-year-old to have a nice hot meal, have a playroom to play in, and where one of us could spend the night each night while the other was at the hospital. When you're in a situation and you're just trying to make sense of the heartache and the fear, to have a kind word, for someone to ask if they can do something for you, or just to gently ask you how things are going, those things are invaluable. They mean so much, and then later on, you don't forget them.
After Jonathan recovered, Laurie sent a thank you letter to the Winston-Salem Ronald McDonald House, which was then published in the house's newsletter.
I tucked it away in my heart that there was a place where people had given so much of themselves and of their money to create a loving, wonderful home atmosphere for people in such a terrible situation. I just sort of tucked that away in my heart, that I would like to give back to the Ronald McDonald House at some point.
That point did come. Years later, after Laurie and her family moved to the Nashville area and her boys became teens, she remembers the first day she walked in to volunteer.
And the Ronald McDonald House here in Nashville is on the same par as the one in Winston-Salem. As soon as I walked in, I was impressed all over again, as I had been that day. I remember very distinctly thinking what a beautiful place physically that house was, and this one I feel the same way about, and I'm sure that all of our families do too. It's been such a tremendous joy to me and such a blessing to me to be even a small part, you know, doing this, the things I do as a house volunteer. On the surface, you know, answering the telephone, checking people in, or doing some light housekeeping may not seem like much, but they give me a tremendous amount of pleasure because I know that I'm doing my little part to thank the Ronald McDonald House for what they did for us. And they just placed an indelible memory in our minds of the good side of human nature.
Laurie says what also brings her joy, and joy to the house, the volunteers who help make this house a home.
Here at the house, I've noticed among the volunteers, there's the whole gamut of personalities. There are people who want to do something kind of in a back office type environment where they're helping with some filing. There are people who want to work down in the basement helping with our supplies. And certainly there's a job for just about every personality type. Then you have people like me who like to socialize with the residents, want to know what's going on with them. And so pretty much whatever your interest level is, there's something that you can do here and feel like you're a part of of things. And that is what is so wonderful. The staff is very flexible. They want people to do what fits their comfort level and their skill set and really their interests. Anything that you can bring to the table, they're very gracious and welcoming and accepting of that. So that's another thing that just makes it so much fun to work here. Put 2 shampoos in each one and then 1 of everything else. How about that?
Now that Jonathan's experienced volunteering, Laurie's hopeful this first visit will turn into a second, a third, and many, many more. Something a mother and son can share.
Yeah, I think that's just right, don't you?